I had a stroke myself, and I was rather unhappy with some aspects of the treatment. The acute treatment was fine, but I very quickly discovered, as most stroke survivors do, that once you're back out in the community, there's not a lot of support out there for you. And I wanted to get involved with an organisation that was doing two things. One, campaigning to make those services better, and two, involving stroke survivors in a meaningful way in its own activities, and I found that with the Stroke Association.
It's helping somebody else. I've been glad my father was disabled, and we were glad sometimes with volunteers and people that one could call on, and I think it's nice, it's good. You get more from it than what you give.
Because I knew nothing about the Stroke Association before the stroke. And I do feel, I was told that another day and I'd have been locked in and I'd have been able to blink and that was it for the rest of my life, which is quite scary really.
Well, I had a stroke 2 years ago, and I was just sitting in the house doing nothing, like many people do when they've had a stroke. And the Stroke Association come to see me and they said, we've got groups that you can join. So I joined the young stroke group and I joined the art group, and I like it.
Well, after I had my stroke, I felt I needed to do something because I felt there were so many deficiencies.
Volunteers help us make a real impact on the lives of those people affected by stroke. Volunteers can be based within the community, helping us raise awareness of stroke. This may involve raising awareness at GP surgeries or helping to run presentations and awareness sessions. There's no such thing as a typical volunteer with the Stroke Association. We believe that everyone has something to offer.
I've been a volunteer with the Stroke Association for almost 20 years. Well, I'm a stroke ambassador, and in that I wear a number of hats. I work in a communication support group. I travel the Northwest giving presentations, raising awareness of stroke, and I also travel the Northwest collecting cash, hopefully, then people will give us some money.
Gave us over 150,000 hours in 2013. This has been a fantastic contribution to the lives of those people affected by stroke. It's simply allowed us to do more and to offer more services, more support, more fundraising and more campaigning throughout the UK.
I started volunteering because my wife had a stroke in 2002, and after various other strokes and a period in a residential care home, she died in 2011, and as a result of that I got quite a lot of information and experience in dealing with stroke survivors, the authorities, the National Health Service, social workers and so on, and I thought I might be able to help other people who were in a similar position.
I put my name down to be the volunteer about 3 years ago. We run our own art group now.
Oh right, yeah.
With help from the Stroke Association. Different mix of people, there's like people my age, and it's good, it's really good to get out and meet different people.
I do a little bit of fundraising. I did run a 5k run. I also help out at the runs by stewarding and helping out.
Because my husband has now had to go into a care home because of his needs, can't be met at home. So, and because they've been so good to me, the Stroke Association, I felt it was an opportunity for me to perhaps give them back a bit of the support that I've had.
We get involved with Know Your Blood Pressure days. We make sure that there's at events there's stalls available, and it says that the information's there and it's clear for everyone to see.
We believe that it's important that people understand the impact they have as a volunteer and recognise that they are making a real difference to the lives of stroke survivors within their community and to raising awareness of stroke, both locally, regionally and nationally.
I've worked in the voluntary sector, so I've worked on the other side as somebody who's looking after people who are volunteers, and when I finished work a couple of years ago, I felt like I had some information that seemed a shame not to use, so I decided to apply for being a volunteer with Stroke Association. The Stroke Association, because stroke can affect anybody at any age, and I've worked with older people and with younger people, so it kind of that ticked those boxes for me.
Lack of communication is quite a serious and important issue following stroke. It's quite a common effect of stroke. And what happens if somebody can't communicate, then people don't talk to them because they say, well, what's the point of talking to John if all he can say is no? So John becomes isolated and then he becomes depressed because nobody talks to me. But when he goes to one of our communication support groups, he gets to know somebody who will take the time and the patience to understand him, and he is understood. So then when he goes home, he thinks, well, I'm not so isolated. I know one person I can talk to, and I can't wait for next Tuesday when I can go along and have another chat. And gradually, his confidence builds. The most rewarding and wonderful thing about being a volunteer is when you see somebody's confidence start to rise, when you see their communication start to improve and their confidence lifts and the smile on their face is worth 1,000 hours of volunteering.
So they like coming to club because it's what the sort of strapline for club is something that somebody said a while ago, which is it's a place where you can be yourself. And so if the volunteers weren't here to run it and support the club, there would be no club, and stroke survivors wouldn't have that opportunity. We don't have any paid staff, so there would be no stroke club without the volunteers, so volunteers are absolutely essential.
Well, there's so many different things you can do. I mean, when I started, I was making cups of tea at events. It's a good way of meeting people, sharing experiences, helping, making a contribution.
Volunteering simply allows us to do so much more for stroke survivors. In the future, we want to see more volunteers involved with us. We want to find new ways of involving people, and we want to improve the way we communicate and work with our existing volunteers.
It's nice to be able to help people. It's nice to be able to be appreciated that you're giving them help. And it's lovely to see the results of the work that you're doing when people benefit from your advice and your help.
Help with the tea, with the refreshments, and obviously when you go around giving people cups of tea, you have a little chat, how are you today? And people feel, I hope, feel welcomed and valued, and that's an important part of the role of volunteers.
There isn't a typical Stroke Association volunteer. Some of our volunteers are older, some of our volunteers are younger, from different backgrounds in different communities. I think stroke affects everyone in different ways, and often when people have been affected by stroke or their friends, family have, they feel like they want to do something.
It's absolutely rewarding. As I say, I never thought that I would be doing the things that I'm doing now. I never thought I'd be on the committee for the Stroke Association. I never thought I'd be in a volunteer capacity, volunteering for the various groups that I now am involved with.
To volunteer to help people who need help, it's the most rewarding thing you can possibly do in life, I think. I became involved with the Stroke Association and I just love every minute of it. I think it's a wonderful way to spend your time.
Without these people, I couldn't do anything. That was the whole thing.
I used to volunteer before in Portugal. Now this is the first time I'm doing something in London as well. I wanted to try, see how it goes, and I'm having fun.
You might think that you've not got anything to offer, but you have. You've got lots of experience, lots of skills. We're all volunteering for our own agendas, but it's a very worthwhile thing to do. Whatever age you are, whatever role you are taking in the community just now, just do it, just be a volunteer, because it's fun.
So we've been out here handing out all of the lovely medals and things and really enjoying saying congratulations to everybody. It's a great achievement and great to support.
And looking to give something back, then just, why not give it a try? And you might find you might gain some skills along the way and meet new people.
Well, I can only tell them the benefits I get and the satisfaction I get by feeling we are making a difference and trying to do something to help. if people really are concerned about helping strokes, they can get involved in many different ways.
Oh, lovely. I mean, it's lovely to see how people are, obviously helping out, for the Stroke Association.
And in fact, last Monday, I just had somebody say to me afterwards on the phone, "Oh, that was really nice talking to you. Thanks very much. It means a lot." Well, that's meant a lot to me.
Volunteers are so good. We have cheered every single volunteer. Thank you for being out there, for standing around in the cold, the wind on your face.